Hey, what's happening? YouTubers are back with a brand new action figure review, and as you can see, I got some more Warhammer 40K figures in. These are the newest wave. I believe this is wave 7 from McFarlane Toys. These just shipped recently from BBTS, so shout out to them for the fast shipping. I'm stoked to get these in. As you can see, we have the Ultramarine Terminator and the World Eaters Khorne Berzerker. Now today I'm just going to review the Khorne Berzerker, but I do want to compare something real quick before we get started with the review, just to showcase the new box art of these Warhammer figures. So I believe the Ultramarine is the new mega figure box, and the Khorne Berzerker is like the regular size figure. But the cool thing they did was they made them the same height, so they're kind of in unison. Obviously this is going to be a little bit thicker because it's a mega figure, but when comparing it to the old box art, or the prior box art, which I do appreciate, and just a quick shout out to the homie Plastic RG, who was the one that worked on the OG box art. I do like this. But it is kind of cool to see the box art get an update. As you can see, it's a little bit taller than the OG one. And when comparing, I also got this too, so I've been kind of in a Warhammer binge lately. But I got the new Orc, or not new, but I got the Orc, which was a mega figure. And when comparing it to the new mega figure box, you can see this one's but much smaller, which I do prefer because I think this one just used up a lot of room and space, whereas this one's more condensed and it's more in unison with the regular size figures. But anyways, that's enough about that. Today we're going to take a look at World Eaters Khorne Berzerker, and I might review Ultramarine Terminator. If y'all are interested, let me know in the comments below. Before I proceed with the review, just to kind of remind y'all, if you haven't checked out my other video previously, the Warhammer 40K figures, like talking about like the line in general, go ahead and watch that. And to reiterate, like I said in that video, I'm not an expert on the Warhammer 40K line or the game or the lore. I'm just a huge fan of the figures that McFarlane Toys produces for that line. Again, I'm still kind of learning about it through other YouTube videos and stuff like that, like learning about the lore and the different armies, but I'm in no means an expert, so if I'm wrong about some stuff, go ahead and correct me in the comments below. But when taking a look at the new box art of the Warhammer 40K figures, you can see the Warhammer 40K logo on the top, and on the right is the McFarlane Toys logo. In the middle of the box, you see the World Eaters logo right there, and on the right side is like the grayish image artwork of the Warhammer 40K art. And on the bottom left, you see it says World Eaters Khorne Berzerker. Right side of the box, it says contains one articulated collectible figure and accessories, and to the right of that you see this is an officially licensed product of the Warhammer line. And on the right side of the box you see the logos on the top. In the middle you see the logo artwork, which just looks sick. It's pretty dope. And then on the bottom you see the logo again. Then on the left side of the box you see the logos at the top. The same artwork you saw on the front of the box. It says World Eaters Khorne Berzerker. And then on the bottom again, just letting you know that this has the seal of approval from the Warhammer line. And on the back of the box you see the image artwork that the figure is based off of, which looks awesome, by the way. That's enough about the box art. Let's go and get Khorne Berzerker out of the box. Now, instead of doing my usual montage of it already being out of the box, I did want to show you all something that's kind of new that I haven't seen before with McFarlane Toys. So there is a plastic shell over the clamshell. Now check this out. The clamshell is nothing new. We've seen this before with their like gold label stuff in the DC Multiverse line. But here's something I do like. If you look in closely, there are no plastic ties on there, no tape, nothing like that. That's awesome, especially because I don't know if y'all kind of have the same annoyance, kind of a pet peeve, just having to keep cutting those ties off the clamshell. This one does not come with it, so I think that's pretty awesome. It's something I hope they implement going forward with the DC Multiverse line, but it's just something I kind of wanted to showcase before I take it all out of the clamshell packaging. Alright, here's Khorne Berzerker out of the box. As you can see, he comes with quite a bit of accessories, but first things first, just like all McFarlane Toys figures, he comes with a base plate that you see the Warhammer logo right there. And it's been a long time since I've done this, but look out, Homer. Then he also comes with this little back piece that, I don't know if this counts as an accessory because it's technically part of the outfit, but something you've seen before in the older Ultramarines, just a part that just pegs to the back of the figure. So this Berzerker figure comes with 2 weapon accessories. I don't know the exact names of them that they're called in the game, so if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below, but I'm just going to say he comes with a gun and an axe, which the axe sculpting looks really good, and I like the silver finish on there. I think it just came out dope. But again, I don't know the exact name of these things. Please let me know in the comments below if y'all know what it is. This might be something that's new, but let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I think this is the first time we've seen interchangeable hands come with a Warhammer figure, because we haven't really seen them before from McFarlane Toys. So this figure does come with an additional set of hands. And another thing that's new, which I believe is new, again, y'all can correct me if I'm mistaken, but it comes with a trading card. So you see the image artwork of the Warhammer figure that we saw in the back of the box. And on the back is a description there. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. All right, now let's take a look at the figure itself, and we're going to get started with the head sculpt first. And one of the reasons that drew me to the Warhammer line is just the sculpting work and just the aesthetics and design. It just looks so badass. Like, you can see that gold finish on there. The paintwork looks awesome. The sculpting work looks fantastic. It's funny, it kind of gives you kind of like a Spawn vibe because of the green eyes, but yeah, they knocked it out of the park with the head sculpt. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the figure. That same level of attention to detail is prevalent in the rest of the figure itself. Now, I got to make mention, because I think I did in my other review, that this ultramarine body is kind of like a base body. They update stuff on there, like different sculpt works on the shoulder pads that make it different from, you know, the Chaos Space Marine, but it still has the same basics in terms of the base buck, but just different sculpt works on different areas of the body. But that doesn't take away of just how awesome this looks. And it's a lot of plastic, but it just looks really awesome though. One thing I want to looks like he's trying to pick someone's nose. One thing I wanted to showcase is just like, it's easy to pop out the hands, just because I haven't seen this before. The hands are interchangeable, but it's easy to plug in there. Just same thing you would do for a DC Multiverse figure. Just easily pop it on there and good to go. I'm not going to delve too much in articulation because you've already seen it in my other review, but basically it has the same articulation as all Ultramarines, just torso has a nice range of movement, which is wild to me that the DC Multiverse stuff sometimes doesn't get the same treatment in terms of articulation. Does have double jointed elbows, which looks nice, or gets a good range. That has a shoulder cut right there. And then the legs can go out about that far, which is pretty impressive for a chunky dude. He does have double jointed knees. There isn't much of a thigh rotation, but you can still get an okay range for something this big. That's not bad. Now, I will say this too. When looking at it, I've seen different videos, like, because I've been in a Warhammer binge lately. I see some of the custom work people do on this. One can argue, you know, the paint application might be a little bit lacking some of these figures. I don't know, just because I don't play the tabletop game, but I have seen some awesome custom work people do out there, and I can see some areas of the figure where definitely people could improve the paint work. All right, now I'm just going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison, here's Khorne Berzerker standing next to a couple other Marines in the McFarlane Toys Warhammer line. We have the Chaos Space Marine on the left and the Ultramarine Reaver on the right. And when you look at these figures like this, how can you argue that this isn't the best work that McFarlane Toys is putting out in terms of toys right now? You know, apart from the DC Multiverse stuff, like take lore out of it and selection and all that stuff, when you size them up and compare this to other stuff that they're doing, what other figures in their IP are they doing better than this? I mean, you could argue maybe the Spawn stuff, but these things just look amazing in my opinion. And next size comparison, here he is sitting next to the Flayed Necron on the left and the Gene Stealer on the right. And next size comparison, just to showcase him next to some DC Multiverse figures from McFarlane Toys. We have the Batman 3 Jokers on the left and the Chad Superman on the right. Shout outs to Toy Gans for dubbing this dude Chad Superman. And next size comparison, here he is next to the Jazz Wars Halo 2 Master Chief figure, which this figure's not good. If I'm just being honest with y'all. Now time for random ass size comparison, but still keeping it in with the McFarlane Toys banner. But also, because this is for a special someone out there, I didn't forget. But here he is sitting next to a couple of My Hero Academia figures from McFarlane Toys. We have Deku, Not Todoroki, and Ochako.
My shit in heart.
Alright, some overall thoughts on the figure. I like it a lot, much like I did the other figures as well. However, there's something a little bit different though about this release. Now, the DC Multiverse line got a price hike recently, but in addition to that, so did the Warhammer line. The difference, though, I would say, is this one came, I don't know if you can constitute as a difference, but came with a trading card or data file card and the 2 additional sets of hands and 2 weapon accessories. However, so did the regular releases prior to that, the ones that came at the $20 price point. So seeing this now at $30, is it worth the price hike? I'm still going to say yes, just because the sculpting work and just when you look at the figure's offering, it still looks good from my optics. But let me know what you think in the comments below. YouTubers, are you going to be picking up these figures, or have you been collecting the Warhammer figures? And again, if there's anything I made a mistake on or incorrectly said, please let me know in the comments below. And like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.